Alright, so
We finished all the fun stuff.
now we're going to go into the techno babble, or rather, just the babble at this point. So we're going to first go right into the first thing. We talked about this at the beginning, about the whole health and safety thing. We're going to go right into it, and we're going to die of boredom.
It's actually the first spot that appears before you update your system.
Now, you see there are three specific things to worry about. One is the 3D precautions.
Which is that big red spot that we saw in the box.
It says, warning, your kids can get something going on. Should not be played for children.
And it's parental controls you can do in settings.
There's a gameplay precaution that says you should not be playing if you because you have the possibility of getting seizures.
Take breaks.
And there's a general precaution that says you shouldn't be, look out for battery leakage from the system.
Issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, or anything else. This one says radio frequency interference. You don't know what this is going to do if you're on the plane, for example, those sort of thing. And that's it, really.
It's pretty much. It's nice that they included the manual inside the system.
Now, when you turn on the 3DS, you won't have to click anything to get rid of these stupid warning screens.
Because it's built in.
Now, we'll go right into this. Oh, I can't do anything with it. Download Play essentially allows you to download 3DS games,
and
DS games, and so forth onto the 3DS.
From the Wii channel or Nintendo channel, or whatever it is.
Pretty basic thing there. And
can't wait to actually get to use it when, have people, multiplayer games.
Now I'll go into this one right now since it's the next boring thing. System settings. Yes.
You noticed the little guy was there?
I didn't notice. We'll find out shortly, won't we? Alright, so system settings has four particular settings. There's the internet settings, which you click on and you get to connect to the internet.
And there's a little guy there. He's like a little 3DS. See the big screen, small screen.
Yep. Now here, if you click this, it'll tell you all the different locations you've been hooked up for. But sometimes you might not be able to connect it with your Nintendo DS games because the Nintendo DS can only connect up to WEP settings.
That's why the Nintendo DS connection setting is right there.
Yes. Now the one we're set up to right now is just WEP, so we don't have to worry about that. So, no problem there. There's also parental controls, which allows you to ultimately say how you want to set up, whether or not it's always 3D or how long a kid can play. So this allows you to ultimately protect your children from any,
So say you have a
burnout,
55-year-old kid and he wants to play your DS. Well, if you put this through a 3DS, more like, and you can set the parental codes on, and that way they can play the games without the fear of the 3D being turned on accidentally.
Alright, so here you'll see also I forgot to mention this, but there's the version number of the OS. You'll see that it has a -1. I think that's when they updated it with the video. By the way, that video also will disappear in the next update, so I imagine that essentially every time they update, we'll have a new video. Then you have the data management, which allows you to see what's on your Nintendo 3DS. Oh, except we got software, which we can't do because we haven't gotten that update yet. This is for most likely the eShop in particular. And then there's extra data, which consists of, so far, Mii Maker and Face Raiders. That's probably the images that we take, as well as the Miis and stuff we have on it, maybe even the save data. But notice it doesn't have anything for AR games. I think that's actually built into the system itself. Then there's DSiWare, which you can't do until you can download DSiWare.
Again, you can't check any of this stuff out. Street Pass management
allows you to select up to 12 games for Street Pass. That's right, only 12. If you had 12 to begin with. But the point is that you can't have more than 12 games setting off Street Pass signals at the same time.
That way you don't flood a person's DS with information.
You can choose to turn something off, and you can notice that actually I didn't actually have any data transmissions, which is odd. Maybe because, maybe I haven't, maybe I have to set up to it? No, because it says I'm set up for it, see? Whatever.
Maybe they didn't want to pick up people.
Maybe not. Either way, there's also reset blocked user settings. We haven't blocked any users, so no problem there. There's also other settings, which is actually a bit longer. You can modify the profile, to me, so far.
Day and
time, the touchscreen for calibration. The 3D screen check shows this image become 3D, so that it says, can you see the 3D in this? If not, you might have a problem. There's the sound, which allows you to, see whether it's stereo, surround stereo, mono. Apparently it sounds better on stereo. Surround doesn't necessarily work too well for some things.
Yeah, it works better with headphones.
Yeah, well, I don't have headphones to listen to this. We have the mic test to see if the mic's actually responding to anything. There's the outer cameras, which allows you to actually calibrate it by taking a picture of something 60 feet away. It'll actually calibrate the image itself. There's the circle pad, which allows you to recenter the circle pad, and the system transfer, which goes between the DS, 3DS, and another 3DS.
Which they haven't set up yet.
Yep, what would you click on right now? It'll say, yeah, it is. And you also have language, system update, and format system memory.
Which is dangerous, but, And And as you see, that's all the information. You'll have to go through all of that when you turn the 3DS on the first time. So be prepared. That's why all that information.
I noticed that it had to turn off the system and turn it back on. Now, the last thing of all the things on this odds section is activity log.
This program pretty much overall tells you your play time and your walk time. Remember the pedometer? It tells you that too.
So we have two segments here: daily records and software library. Total, you get to see that I've taken that many steps and played that many titles. If I go to the walker, you'll see see what I've done today. If I go back, you'll see I played a lot more. I walked a lot more yesterday. Rather, today. I haven't gone to sleep yet. We went to the mall, and that's essentially all the walking steps I took here. So, you get to see all the previous things we've done, all the pictures, not all the pictures, but rather all the steps we've taken.
And it looks in 3D when you turn 3D on.
Yep.
But, And if you turn the playtime...
Oh, you can also see it by week, too. Or by... Yeah, this is by week, so that was the first week we've had the 3DS. And this is in a monthly form. But let's go back to daily. Then we go play playtime. You get to see what games we've played for what days. You would see that we had some issues with, playing at this work area, because that's we're working. And
playing right before we go to bed is another thing we do.
Yes, so... You just go to page view, which allows you to see all the things you've done at particular days. From this standpoint, you get to see all the times you spent playing on anything, including games from the DS, not just the 3DS. And so it allows you to see, as well as Nintendo to see, what you've been playing. See, I played Meteos for about 2 minutes to see how the 3D effect was. Too addicting. Then there's the software library, which allows you to see every game you've ever played on the 3DS. You can see we played the health and safety information twice. You would play AR games. We also have the 3D video here.
It also tells you
you
notice it also tells you put crowns next to.
Yep. You can actually go right to that with the rankings, which shows you the best, for this case, is by playtime. You can see we played almost 11 hours of Piling Resort, but we played, the second game would be AR games. We can also go back to changing order to, say, play frequency, how many times we played a game. Highest game we played?
It's an amazing game, on some, right?
You can see we can go down, you can actually see all the games we've played, all the way down to the bottom. Hey, Monster Tales is a pretty good game, by the way. And,
Mario's the bottom, so I tried it once.
You get to see all those sort of things. In case you want to have all the information in your fingertips, you can even flip through them and see all the icons of the games you've played.
Now, is there a limit?
I think there might be, but right now, not the case.
And there's that extra
So those are the last four things. We haven't shown you the actual games that are available yet. That would be Face Raiders and AR games. But that's going to wait for the next two videos, so we'll show you off all the games that are there.
And we'll even probably show you off the more DS stuff. And
we'll also show you how the DS looks compared to it. And
those are just all the generic features that come with the system.
Yep, so we'll be right back with more of that.